Hello, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It really will help you on your journey to understand a lot about the energy balance and why we bang on about calories so much. So, I'm going to show you a little diagram here and then we're going to talk about what this means. This is a diagram of your total daily energy expenditure. This is the amount of calories that your body expends all day, every day. So on the side, you can see the percentage of your total daily energy expenditure, and then there's 4 components to your TDEE. So by far the largest component of your total daily energy expenditure is made up of your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. And this is the amount of calories your body will use even at rest. This is the amount of calories it uses down to metabolic functions, hormone function, brain function, everything that your body still has to do, even if you were to lay in bed all day doing nothing. So the next part of your total daily energy expenditure is what's called your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or your NEAT. And this is the amount of energy that your body uses through activity or movement. Everything outside planned exercise. So that might be walking, cooking, cleaning, playing with the kids, gardening, going to work, all of that sort of thing. Everything that you do that involves movement or activity, but outside planned exercise. Next, you have your exercise activity thermogenesis, and this is planned exercise that could be running, lifting weights, playing sports, swimming, and many, many more. And then you have your thermic effect of feeding, and this is the amount of energy that your body uses to digest food. So that's your total daily energy expenditure. Some of the components we have quite a lot of influence over, some of them we don't. So things like your basal metabolic rate, we can't influence that a lot. Slightly, not a lot. But things like your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, we can influence that quite a lot by being more active. Okay, this is why sometimes you have a step target to hit, just so I can see that you're actively trying to be more active to burn more calories. Also, things like the thermic effect of feeding. So there's 3 macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats and proteins. And one of them, proteins, has a higher thermic effect of feeding. So your body will burn more calories digesting protein than it will the other 2. So that's, again, one of the reasons why you have a protein target. There is a lot more. So we can kind of influence your total daily energy expenditure. And that is why we do things like exercise, hit a step target, eat certain macros, but also we need to look at what we give our body, okay? So the amount of calories we burn is one thing, but the amount of calories we give our body is another. So the energy balance means the amount of calories we eat and the amount of calories we expend is the same. That's an energy balance. Okay, if we give our body too much energy, that will cause weight gain, and if we give our body too little energy, that will cause a weight loss. So there's 2 ways we can do it to create this energy deficit. We can eat less and we can move more. Doing them both together will obviously mean we don't have to really restrict our diet, or we don't have to really increase our activity levels. We can just do a little bit of both, and that way it's a bit more manageable, a bit more maintainable, and a bit more enjoyable. So we need to calculate your total daily energy expenditure. You can do that. We can make a rough estimate based on a few factors like your height, weight, age, gender, activity levels. So once we have that estimate, we can then estimate an amount of calories that you can eat throughout the day. Now, how on earth do you know how many calories you're eating? This is why we use an app called MyFitnessPal. It's a calorie tracking app, and you need to watch another video in the group next on how to use MyFitnessPal. So here's another diagram that will just explain all that in more detail. So here we have the energy balance equation. So everything we eat is a macronutrient. It can be a carbohydrate, a fat, or a protein. Okay, they all contain calories. And then the amount of calories that we expend is through your total daily energy expenditure, which is made up of your activity levels, your feeding, and your metabolic rate. So we need to lose weight by giving your body less energy and expending more energy. This is going to force you into an energy deficit, which will start to use stored body fat for energy. So therefore, you're decreasing your body fat levels. So what will happen is you will have a calorie target, a protein target, and a step target. you will be using an app called MyFitnessPal to track your calories and protein, and then using just an activity tracker or your phone to track your steps. And then through weekly check-ins and support, we'll make sure that you're hitting these markers, which is making sure you're in an energy deficit, which is going to see you lose body fat over time. I really hope that makes sense, and if it doesn't, you know where I am. Shoot me a message and I'll explain it in more detail.